You are listening to Dodging Divorce Disasters, a podcast where I interview divorce professionals that give you clear guidance, real talk, and smart strategies to help you make better decisions when it matters most. My name is Lori Hawkins. I am a divorce realtor, expert, and your host. I have the privilege of working with these professionals daily, and there is a wealth of knowledge in each episode. Let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of Dodging Divorce Disasters. And I am so excited because I've got Lisa Bass Hughes. She just got married not too long ago, with me today. And I want you to tell our listeners, because I'm really excited about letting them know about the company that you work for, because I think a lot of people don't know about it. I didn't know about it till I met you. So name of the company, what it does, the customers where you can serve them, and then we'll jump into the divorce aspect.
Awesome, Lori. Thank you so much for the invitation today. Yeah, my name is Lisa Bass Hughes. I have partnered with a company called Legal Shield now for over 17 years. The company is based in Ada, Oklahoma, and has been around since 1972. And we actually started out as a motor vehicle legal plan because our founder was actually in an automobile accident, almost wasted his life savings, defended himself in court. But over the last 54 years almost now, our plans, which is a subscription-based membership to a nationwide network of law firms and attorneys who practice every category of law in every state and every municipality in the nation.
Okay, it kind of blows my mind. And I couldn't help but just kind of laugh, because you know what? Great things come from solving a problem, right? So when you're saying how this company got started, I think that's great. So what you're saying is, if I'm understanding you correctly, is that for X amount of dollars a month, I can pay into a Legal Shield plan. And then if I run into any kind of legal problems, I go through my Legal Shield person, and I don't know if I go through you, I don't know how that works, but I go through my Legal Shield plan to represent me, to find an attorney to represent me. Is that correct?
Yeah. So, and it doesn't have to be a problem. So, unfortunately, people think that using the legal system means something went wrong
Yeah.
because we're never taught to use the legal system proactively instead of reactively. And so, yeah, it's when things can go wrong, but it's also to ensure that things don't go wrong.
Okay, so now let's kind of narrow it down. Since this is a divorce podcast, let's see how Legal Shield can help us in a divorce. So I'm going to use me. I'm a realtor, right? I'm a CDRE. I help people sell homes when they're going through a divorce. But I am just an individual agent. I do not own the brokerage that I work. It's just me. So I do not have like a business attorney on my payroll. So if someone, heaven help, should sue me for any reason, it would probably take me under, to be able to go and hire someone to represent me. Okay, the same way with divorce. Divorce is expensive. I have been through my own divorce years ago, and it is expensive. So what if I have I got into Legal Shield to kind of protect my business, but then heaven help, I wound up going through a divorce. Could I still get a divorce attorney through the same plan, or is it just protecting my business?
Great question, Lori. Legal Shield has a suite of services available. So we have plans that are specific to a business. So if you're a corporate entity, then we have plans that protect that company where the member is actually the business. With our personal plans, you as the individual member are protected, but you like me, I'm a sole proprietor. I'm home based. So we have what's called our home business add-on that we can attach to our personal plan to protect our rights as a business owner as well. And in those personal plans, we have different coverages to protect us. God forbid we get into a situation where divorce is necessary. So, uncontested family law is one category of coverage. So, if it is an uncontested divorce and your conversation with your attorneys would identify if your situation meets those criteria, after 90 consecutive days of coverage, then the matter would be handled by your provider firm. We also understand that things happen. Divorce is never a funny situation, but I have kind of a funny anecdote. A friend of mine in California used to always say, "Love is grand, but divorce is 10 grand."
Yeah. 10 grand
So,
many times over.
yeah. So with our personal coverage, we understand that we can't cover everything 100% because that's, tens of thousands of dollars in coverage. But if we can give our members a preferred member discount, which at a minimum is 25% off of the legal fees,
Right.
now that's 25% of their own money. But one thing I do want to make sure I share is that in companies, we also offer our services as voluntary employee benefits. And depending upon the size of the company, the employees can get discounted rates, wherein off of the consumer price, they can save up to 51% as a voluntary employee benefit.
Are you kidding?
No,
How large does the company have to be able to do that?
one employee, two employees.
You are kidding. Wow, what a great benefit for
Yeah.
companies to have. Okay, so many things are going through my brain right now as you were sitting there talking. I am highly skeptical of everything. That is just my nature. That's probably why I'm divorced because I'm highly skeptical of everything. Two things right off the bat. One, is it if I am going through a divorce and I reach out through Legal Shield, am I gonna get a divorce attorney that's going to know about divorces, or am I getting a general practitioner that I'm just taking my shots with?
Thanks for asking that. So, Legal Shield actually developed the only provider network system of AV rated attorneys in the nation. That simply means that the law firms that work with us have the Martindale Hubble a directory is like the AAA guide for lawyers. AV is the highest rating that an attorney or a law firm can attain. So all of the lawyers that we work with are AV rated. How our provider network system works is that every state in the nation has at least one primary law firm, not an attorney. Our firms cover every aspect of law, all 26 categories of law, plus all the subcategories. So when you call in and request a consultation with your provider firm, it's going to go to the attorney who specializes in the category of law that you need. Now, here's what I know. In North Carolina, our provider firm is Merritt Webb Wilson and Crusoe, and they're based in Durham. We're in the Lake Norman region physically, and we're going to need a local family law attorney to help us. So, in our closed panel, we have close to 6,000 provider and referral attorneys at our members' disposal because we're covered in all 50 states.
Okay. Okay. And, um, so that kinda answered my question. So, I can rest assured because, divorce family law is very state specific, just like real estate law is. Selling a house here may be totally different than selling a house in California. That's why we have to be licensed in every state, which is the same for family law attorneys or for attorneys in general. So if I am going through whatever it is I'm going through and I go through Legal Shield, I can rest assured that it is gonna be in whatever state that I'm going in. Okay, right. Good to know.
And as you said, all family dynamics are different, right? So if a family lives in the state of North Carolina and our geography is really unique in that we're 30 minutes from South Carolina, we're an hour
Right.
from Tennessee, or a couple hours from Tennessee, we're a couple hours from Virginia. Our children may go to school out of state, and we want to buy real estate so that we can, mitigate the high cost of housing.
Exactly.
um, it's really important that you have reliable access to attorneys wherever you might
wherever.
them, as opposed to needing to, go to Google or ask friends or look for resources. Your Legal Shield attorneys are gonna be able to help you find those resources no matter where you need them.
Exactly. Now, did I hear you correctly? And I may not have because my mind's swirling with questions and things because I just feel I find this fascinating, and I find it fascinating that I haven't heard of this until I met you. Because, I just feel like life in general is day to day brings its own risk, right? Benefits and risks. That's what life is because we do not know what's going to happen when we get off this podcast. We don't know what's going to happen when we get in the car. Anything could happen. And this just seems like for those of us that are not in high powered jobs or have access to, attorneys, we don't have them on payroll. We're blessed if we have some friends that have some, legal background about them, but most of us don't. That's why for people that are going through a divorce, you see in all of these Facebook mom groups, I need names. I need names. I'm going through a divorce. My husband's asked for a divorce. I need a name. I need a name. And I know for the individual plan, it was not very much per month. For me to have that peace of mind, it seems like a no-brainer to me. I mean, it really does. And I don't know what I'm missing, but it seems like a no-brainer.
And so, Lori, it's all about people like you giving people like me a voice to share. Because we are a word of mouth company, we're the little known 54-year-old company protecting, 4.5 million lives in North America, and it's our members who tell our story, and word of mouth is crazy for a company that's 54 years old.
Yeah.
But again, if I don't meet you or I don't talk to you or you don't, share the mission and the story, then it's not gonna get out there, and that's why, I'm so, thankful for you seeing the value in what we're able to bring a family.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and this whole podcast is for me to show everyone their options, to help dodge a divorce disaster. That's the whole reason for this. And I mean, this may not be for everyone, but it could help someone that can maybe afford. I mean, what is a individual plan per month? I mean, do you
yeah,
have any idea?
yeah, so we have 3 levels of coverage for a family: basic, preferred, and premium. Basic is for a husband and wife in their state of residence only. We call it our preferred plan in the middle because it's the one that most families prefer. Covers a member and their spouse, dependent children up to the age of 26 in all 50 states. That plan is $37.95 a month. Our premium plan expands the coverage of a preferred plan. It's $50 a month, $49.95. That plan actually offers a revocable living trust for a flat fee of $250. For me, that's probably the biggest benefit of that premium plan. And I just wanted to add, we talked about this a little bit when we were talking about me coming on and sharing. When a couple goes through a divorce, it's not just about ending a relationship. It's stepping into a legal process that touches nearly every part of their life:
True.
filing legal documents, understanding rights and obligations, custody and parenting plans, division of assets and debt, housing decisions, days, who leave, updating wills, beneficiary, legal protections. It's all those things that a Legal Shield plan can help with,
Mhm.
that a lot of times it could be different attorneys, but with Legal Shield, they're all under one house.
Exactly. Something you just said sparked another question. What if you have a family plan and everything is going well in the marriage, and then years down the road, you have this family plan and you go through a divorce? Does that family plan cover both individuals contacting a family law attorney, a separate family law attorney?
No, it covers the member. So if you are the primary member, then you would be covered because of that a potential conflict of interest.
And how do you become what designates a primary member? Like, what would you have to do? You're
It's
just the first one listed as the main person?
Yeah, we use only the last 4 digits of a person's Social Security number. So whoever's social is listed as primary. I don't even need your husband's social to enroll you unless we have identity theft protection as well, but, so with your social attached to the membership, that makes you the primary member.
And is there a time limit of how much time you have to have been a member of Legal Shield before your benefits kick in? Like, what if my husband came, like, I'm not a part of Legal Shield, my husband comes today and says, "Hey, I want a divorce." Could I reach out to you and say, "Hey, I wanna get on this," and then immediately be able to contact a family law attorney?
There are services that are available day one, unlimited advice and consultation, contract and document review, and legal correspondence on the member's behalf. Those three areas of coverage are available day one and they're unlimited. So a lot of times and I always recommend that when a member calls in, the first thing they say is I need advice on
Right,
because
right.
that advice is always gonna be covered. After 90 days of consecutive coverage, we have uncontested family law services available, so if the divorce is like, you may say, "We're agreeing on everything, we just need somebody to formalize it," and you consider the transaction, sorry to say a transaction, but it's a transaction,
It is.
that it's uncontested, that would actually just be a conversation between you and your attorney on whether based on our guideline, it's uncontested. But, as I mentioned, that 25% discount is where our members save the most amount of money because it's typically where they're gonna spend the
Right.
most of
Yeah.
and that 25% discount is available day one.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think we have said this yet, but I hear a lot of times, and I see a lot of times because I get written into separation agreements and court orders. One spouse will have an attorney and one will not. So, you know, it would be great for the person who doesn't have an attorney, that doesn't have the money, but then the other spouse has the protection that has their attorney catching their back. They're writing up the agreement to be able to have someone for less than $50 a month, to be able to say, "Look, this was written up by my wife's attorney or my ex-wife's attorney. Can you just look it over and see if I'm covered? If I'm getting jabbed somewhere along the way?" And that's available day one, right? For them just to be able to peruse the documents.
And I really want your listeners or your viewers to understand that Legal Shield isn't a fire drill service. It's not a I got to get this, I got to get through this, and then I got to get out of this. Legal Shield, I mentioned I've been a member for 17 and a half years. Not because I got into the service because I needed it and didn't have it.
Yeah.
I've stayed in it because I'd rather have it and not need it.
In what ways have you used it personally, if you don't mind sharing that?
Gosh, 17 and a half years. I've been represented in traffic court in 5 different states.
That says a lot about you right there.
I'm from North Carolina, we like to drive fast. I've had the attorneys write letters on my behalf when I thought I've been treated unfairly, $140, fee for a piece of equipment that my internet provider said I didn't return, but their technicians had taken it from my house. They ended up sending me to collections for
Mm,
$140.07. So Legal Shield wrote one letter on my behalf and the whole thing was resolved.
and that was included. The letters are included like that.
Yeah. So, the letters, the legal correspondence, we have a gun owners supplement. I moved back to North Carolina from Northern California about 8 years ago, and I needed to transport a couple of firearms across country. Think about your clients who, through the process of the divorce, maybe moving, into different areas and How do you transport your firearms across state lines and literally across multiple state lines across the
Yeah.
nation? And knowing that I have 24/7 emergency access to my attorneys, God forbid something happens.
Right. Right.
And that's one thing that I didn't mention, Lori, is with our Legal Shield plan, we give our members 24/7 emergency access. If you're ever questioned, detained, or arrested, if someone tries to remove your children from your custody, if you're served with a warrant, think about the things that when divorce goes wrong,
Yeah.
that's when.
Right.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, when law enforcement shows up at your door to take your children because someone said something that was not correct, who do you call?
Yeah. No, those are really it's really good because I know that there is a lot of domestic violence, in divorces and people show up places that they shouldn't. So, yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Sometimes
I
a lot
really
of education it's a lot of education about when to call 911, when to call Legal Shield, and when to call both.
yeah, no, exactly. And I guess people can contact you and you get much more in depth on all of this, right? I mean, if this is like someone's thinking this is too good to be true or like, "Oh my gosh, I really need to look into this," you would be regardless of where they are, US or Canada, like you said, you could be the person that they call. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Well, how would they what's the best way for them to contact you?
I can give you my telephone number. It's area code 925-367-3221. And my email is my name, Lisa, at yourbenefitspro.com.
Your benefits with an S, pro.com. Okay. All right. And it's Legal Shield. That's the name of the company. Well,
Correct.
is there anything else that you would like to have said before we end up? This has been a lot of really good information, which is all I want to do is give people the options to know what's out there and then they can decide, what they want to do. But I just have a feeling a lot of people had no idea this existed.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that I'd like to share, Lori, is people want to go local a lot of times. We are a nationwide service. I appreciate, oh, I want to use ABC attorney or I know XYZ attorney from my chamber or from my networking group or from my Rotary Club. I appreciate that. And if you've got a relationship and if you've got an attorney who's going to give you, a screaming deal because you know them,
Mm,
fabulous. But what I know is that kind of the thing that I said, there's so many different things that are wrapped into the process of divorcing, that the thing that I love the most about what Legal Shield can offer is everything in one place.
yeah.
So use your resources, but understand that there's an affordable solution for the things that you don't have resources for.
Yeah, I completely agree. I cannot thank you enough for taking time to come on here today and inform everybody about this. And I hope this is going to help someone today that didn't realize that it existed. So thank you for your time and your expertise.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The information contained herein is not legal advice. If you need legal advice, please seek an attorney.